I'm going to show you 3 easy methods of icing a cake with whipped cream. Many of you are really interested in learning more about whipped cream icing, and I'm so excited to finally share these techniques with you. If you're new to my channel and interested in ways to be creative with your cake decorating, be sure to subscribe for more tips and tutorials. And if you're ready to take your skills to the next level, check out my Cake Decoration Beginner's Guide, which is linked in the description below. So let's get started. Before we ice our cake, each layer must be prepared. The first thing I'll do is level each layer with a cake leveler. After I adjust the tool and place it against the cake in a few locations, I level the layer. So I didn't bake this cake. I actually bought uniced cake layers from a big box store to use for an in-person class. See the holes? This is not my doing. Now that both of the layers are level, I grab my turntable and place a piece of non-skid shelf liner to keep my cake base in place. I have my whipped cream icing, and I'm going to use an offset metal spatula, a decorating comb, and a spoon to create 3 completely different iced cake looks. No matter what style you're going for, you always want to layer up your cake like this. The next step is to ice the top of the cake. Be sure to be generous and always use a lot of icing when first covering a completely bare cake. This will keep you from pulling crumbs up from your cake. To finish the top, I hold the spatula in one place, slightly angled up, and rotate the turntable to smooth the icing on top. Next, ice the sides of your cake. This part has been sped up 2 times, but definitely take your time on this. Now, if you're used to working with buttercream icing like me, you may be surprised by how light, airy, and soft the whipped cream is. So work slowly to avoid making a big mess. Once the cake is completely covered in whipped cream, I'm going to use a plastic icing smoother to create the first look, a completely smooth cake. If there are gaps in the icing, now is a great time to fill those with additional icing. Holding the icing smoother in one place with it slightly angled away from the side of the cake, I turn my turntable to smooth the sides. I alternate filling in the gaps with more icing and smoothing the sides with my icing smoother until the sides appear nice and smooth. Now is a good time to add a little more icing to the top and smooth it down. This part is optional, but I find that it improves the overall look of the cake. The next step is to smooth over the icing that's overlapped the top edges of the cake. With the offset spatula positioned off the top edge of the cake and angled up slightly like this, move the spatula in to knock the icing inward, creating a nice sharp 90-degree angle at the edge. Make sure to clear off the back of the spatula after each swipe. Icing can be easily removed from the cake base with the icing smoother and wiped down with a paper towel moistened with a few drops of water. Now here's our smooth cake. To create the next look, I'm going to add more icing to the side of the cake. The next step is to align the decorating comb with the sides of the cake and the top of the cake base. Hold it in one place and rotate the turntable to create these beautiful ridges on the side of the cake. Just like using the icing smoother, this may take quite a few rotations to create the perfect finish. Finally, icing overlapping the top edge of the cake is knocked inward. Now here's our combed cake. To create the next look, more icing must be added to achieve the proper texture. Next, I use the back of a metal spoon to create this easy texture. Now, if you're struggling with the first two methods, this is a simple technique for making your cake look absolutely decadent. Here, I repeat the texture on the side of the cake. And here's our finished spoon-textured cake. Once the cake is iced smooth or combed, I pipe some reverse shells around the top edge with a 1M piping tip. And I pipe some beads around the bottom edge with a number 12 piping tip. This cake turned out really cute, so I decided to add some candles. Oh, there goes my toddler. He wants to see what's going on. If this video inspires you to try these techniques on your next whipped cream cake, be sure to hit the like button below. Subscribe to my channel for more cake decorating tips and tutorials, and don't forget to hit the bell to be notified when I upload the latest video. As always, thanks for watching.